Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where pocket change might just change your life. No, seriously, if you've ever said, it's just a penny, you might want to rethink that because today we're talking about a 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth, wait for it, $1.8 million. Yeah. $1.8 million. For a coin most people wouldn't even bend over to pick up. And now, before you go flipping every couch cushion in the house, let's talk about why this little brown beauty is making collectors go absolutely bonkers. This ain't your average penny, people, this is the Willy Wonka golden ticket of your coin jar. So grab a drink, get comfy, and stick around because I'm about to break down everything you need to know: the value, the history, what makes it so rare, and how you might have one chilling in your junk drawer right now. Alright, let's rewind to 1973. Gas was like 40 cents, bell bottoms were in, disco was bumpin', and somewhere in a US mint facility, a penny was born without a mint mark. Now, to most people, that doesn't sound like a big deal. But coin nerds, and I say that lovingly, being one myself, know that missing mint marks can be a sign of a rare error or limited production. And when it comes to the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny, that's exactly what's going on. And now, normally, pennies made in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. That's totally normal. But here's the kicker: some of these 1973 no mint mark pennies were made with an ultra high quality die, or in some cases, struck on the wrong metal planchet. And that is where the value goes from 1 cent to I can retire on this and buy a yacht territory. Only a tiny handful of these error coins have ever been confirmed, which makes them ridiculously rare. And you know how it works: the rarer something is, the more collectors are willing to throw their wallets at it. Now let me tell you a little story. One time, I was at a garage sale and spotted this old, dusty coffee can filled with coins. The guy goes, "You can have the whole thing for $5. And I'm like, say less. Took it home, dumped it on my kitchen table like a pirate with treasure, and started digging through it. Lo and behold, I found a 1973 penny with no mint mark that looked just a little different. Sharp strike, shiny as if it just came off the press. I got it checked out. Turns out it wasn't the $1 million one, but still worth a solid couple $100. Not bad for a $5 gamble and a Saturday morning. Point 1. The coin should be dated 1973 with no mint mark under the date. Point 2. Check the condition. Coins in mint state, especially those that are MS65 or higher, can be worth thousands. But the unicorn, the $1.8 million version, usually has some sort of mint error that makes it extra special. Wrong color, weird weight, ultra shiny or super detailed. Don't chuck it in the Coinstar. Get it graded by a professional coin service. PCGS and NGC are your go-to for that. And 4. Don't get scammed. There are fakes out there. If someone's trying to sell you a rare penny for $500 on Craigslist and also happens to be selling vintage Beanie Babies, maybe take a step back. Now, the current market value of the ultra-rare 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Like I said earlier, it's topping out at $1.8 million for the right error in top condition. That's house money. Literally. You could trade it in for a mansion, a Lambo, and still have enough left over for a lifetime supply of Taco Bell. Collectors are actively searching for this coin, and auctions have seen wild bidding wars over high-grade examples. The demand is sky high. So even if you don't have the one, a well-kept 1973 no mint mark penny can still fetch a few hundred or even a couple $1,000. Definitely better than spending it on gum. Point 1. Never underestimate a penny. Especially one from 1973. Point 2. Check your change. You might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Point 3. Always say yes to dusty coffee cans filled with coins. You just never know. Don't just spend your coins, study them. Who knew being a little bit nerdy about change could make you rich? So if you enjoyed this video and want more tips, stories, and breakdowns of coins that are secretly worth a boatload of cash, hit that subscribe button. Smash that like, leave a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin, and ring that little notification bell so you don't miss the next treasure hunt. Trust me, your piggy bank might just be the best investment you've ever made. Hey coin fam, welcome back to the channel where small change equals big money and your pocket change might just be your retirement plan. I'm serious, no joke. Today we're diving into a wild one: the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Yeah, that little copper coin you probably ignored at the bottom of your couch cushion could be worth a whopping $1.1 million. That's right, $1.1 million. Imagine finding that while digging for spare change for a vending machine. Suddenly that bag of chips cost you a fortune and potential profit. Stick around because I'm going to tell you why this penny is worth a mansion in Malibu, how to spot one, and what to do if you actually have it. Spoiler alert, don't spend it on gas. Alright, so let's talk about this 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. First off, no mint mark means it was made in Philly. That's the Philadelphia Mint for those of you who are new to the coin collecting world. Philly didn't put mint marks on pennies back in the day, so if yours doesn't have a little D or S under the year, congrats, it's from the city of brotherly love and possibly the city of big payouts if you're lucky. Now most 1994 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. Sad, I know, I can feel the collective groan, but here's where it gets interesting. Some of these no mint mark pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, used the wrong metal, or had insanely rare errors that make collectors go absolutely bonkers. And when collectors go bonkers, prices go sky high like private jet to Tahiti. Hi, so what makes this $1 million baby so special? Well, rumor has it this particular coin was struck on a transitional planchet. Basically that means the US Mint had a whoopsie moment and accidentally used a metal blank they weren't supposed to, possibly a blank from an earlier year like copper instead of the standard zinc coated one they were using in 1994. And since these mistakes are super rare, they're like golden tickets to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, except instead of candy you get cold hard cash. Actually have a personal story about pennies and near misses. A few years back I was helping my grandma clean out her old purse drawer, which is a time capsule of 1983 receipts, random buttons, and of course coins. I spotted this super old beat up penny from the 60s and got all excited thinking it might be a rare one. I showed it to her and she goes, "Oh, that thing, I've been using it to scratch lotto tickets." I almost passed out. If she'd been scratching tickets with a rare coin, I'd be crying myself to sleep every night. Still kinda hurts to think about. Anyway, moral of the story, always check your change. Always. I don't care if it's dusty, sticky, or smells like bubblegum from 2004. You never know what's hiding in those piles of pennies. That's how people end up finding these crazy rare coins like our $1.1 million star. Now if you want to spot a rare 1994 penny, here's what you look for. First, check the weight. A normal 1994 penny should weigh about 25 grams. If yours weighs 31, that means it could have been struck on a copper planchet, and that's big money, baby. Next, look for any crazy errors, off-center strike, double die, or any weird shapes and bumps you weren't expecting. Also, if it just looks a little different, trust your gut. Coin collectors have some pretty sharp instincts. If you think you've got one of these beauties, don't take it to your local corner store or Coinstar machine. Please, no offense to corner stores, but they probably won't give you that cool million. Take it to a professional coin appraiser or send it in to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll let you know exactly what you're dealing with. And if you've struck gold or just found another penny to toss in a fountain for luck, also quick tip, never clean the coin. Just don't. I know the urge is real, you want to shine it up, make it look all fancy, but trust me, cleaning a coin is like washing a Picasso with Windex. It ruins the value. Keep it crusty if it came crusty. That patina is your payday. Alright, my fellow penny prospectors, let's wrap this up. One little coin, one regular looking 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny could literally change your life. It's the Cinderella of the coin world, hiding in plain sight, waiting for its fairy god collector to discover it. And remember, it's not just about getting rich, although hey, who's gonna complain about $1 million penny? It's about the hunt, the adventure, the thrill of turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. Whether it's in your change jar, your junk drawer, or under your car seat, there's treasure everywhere if you know what to look for. So before you go tossing that handful of coins into the tip jar, give him a second look. Your $1 million moment might be right there staring up at you with Lincoln's stern little face. If you enjoyed this video, do me a solid, hit that like button, tap subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that are worth serious cash. I've got more juicy coin content coming your way that'll have you checking your pockets like a detective on a mission. Hey there, my coin-loving friends and curious treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where pocket change could mean early retirement and your old piggy bank might be holding something worth more than your car. Today we're diving into one of the most surprising finds in the coin collecting world, the 1964 D mint mark Lincoln penny. Yep, the one that might just be sitting in your junk drawer looking all innocent and coppery, but guess what? It could be worth a jaw-dropping $12 million. That's right, 12 million with an M. Now I know what you're thinking, come on, it's just a penny, how can that tiny thing be worth that much? Well, stick with me because by the end of this video you're gonna be flipping every penny you find and maybe even raiding grandma's old coin jar because there's a small chance you're sitting on a gold mine disguised as copper. Alright, let's get into it. So what's the big deal about the 1964 D Lincoln penny and why is it turning heads in the coin collecting world? Let's start with the basics first. The D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, and in 1964 they cranked out over 3 billion of these suckers. So yeah, at first glance this coin doesn't seem rare at all. It's like saying you've got a rare grain of sand on the beach. But here's the twist, while most of those pennies are still just worth 1 cent, there are a few that were struck with freaky little minting errors or were made with different metal compositions by accident or pure government mystery. One particular 1964 penny in pristine uncirculated condition with a rare die error sold for a wild $12 million at auction. That's more than some folks' houses, and all for a coin you can't even use in a vending machine anymore. I mean, seriously, when was the last time you used a penny intentionally? Now let's talk about what makes your 1964 penny potentially valuable. First, condition matters big time. If it looks like it's been chewed by a squirrel and thrown into a blender, sorry buddy, that's not the $1 million one. But if it's got a strong shine, clear details, and almost no wear, then you might have something hot on your hands. Second, the error factor. There are known double die obverse errors, which basically means the coin was struck twice and the design looks a little blurry or doubled. If you notice Lincoln's face or the word Liberty looking like it's had one too many cups of coffee, that's actually a good sign. Also look for things like repunched mint marks or off-center strikes, because the mint wasn't exactly running like a Swiss watch back then. Now let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago I was helping my uncle clean out his garage, and he had this big jar of coins, you know, the kind people just throw change into for years and never cash in. Anyway, I started digging through it because hey, I'm that guy, and I pulled out a shiny little 1964 penny. I took it home, didn't think much of it, but later I checked it with a magnifier and boom, it had a super clear doubling on the date and Liberty. My heart skipped, I kid you not. I called like 3 friends screaming into the phone like I just won the lottery. Turned out it wasn't the $1 million one, but it still sold for over $700 on eBay, which paid for pizza for months, and trust me, it was worth it. Moral of the story: don't sleep on these old pennies, they could be carrying more value than your entire wallet. Now let's talk current market value. The 1964 penny with no errors in average condition, yeah, it's worth 1 cent maybe 2 if someone's feeling generous, but a high-grade 1 MS67 or better with a crazy mint error, that's where you hit the jackpot. The record sale is 12 million, but even more common error types can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and rarity. Collectors right now are hungry for high-quality Lincoln cents, and the 1964 is one of the most popular dates being hunted, which means demand is strong and prices are climbing. So even if you don't have the holy grail of pennies, you might still cash in big time if you've got one in top shape. And hey, here's a hot tip: if you want to start hunting seriously, hit up estate sales, garage sales, flea markets, and always say yes when someone says, hey, I've got a jar of coins you want to see, because you never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Alright folks, that wraps up today's coin adventure. Remember, the 1964 Lincoln penny might seem common, but with the right error and condition, it can be worth more than a luxury sports car. Keep your eyes peeled, your magnifiers ready, and your coin jars close, because the next big payday might just be hiding under your couch cushions. And if you had fun today or learned something new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that like for more coin tips, treasure stories, and how to turn pocket change into serious profit. We're dropping videos every week to help you hunt down coins worth money and build your collection without breaking the bank. Also drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're about to raid your old change jar after this video. We'd love to hear your stories. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where coins aren't just spare change but potential treasure chests in your pocket. Now, before you toss that penny into a fountain and wish for $1 million, what if I told you that penny might already be your $1 million wish granted? Yep, today we're diving into one small coin with a big value, the 1988 mint mark Lincoln penny, currently rocking a market value of $1.3 million. That's right friends, we're not joking here. So if you've got a jar of old pennies lying around, don't go anywhere. You could be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Now let's dig in and talk about why this little copper-colored coin could change your life forever. Okay, so you might be wondering, what makes a random old penny worth over $1 million? Is it made of gold? Nope. Is it magical? And not unless you consider minting errors magic. And in the coin world, we kinda do see most coins are mass-produced, but every now and then something goes a little wonky at the mint. Maybe a die gets swapped or a design gets reused from the wrong year, and boom, we've got ourselves a rare error. And collectors go nuts for these things like sneakerheads chasing down the rarest Jordans. Now enter the star of today's show, the 1988 Lincoln penny. Not just any 1988 penny, we're talking specifically about the one with a mint mark D, which means it was made in Denver. And here's where it gets juicy. So what's the big deal with this penny? It all comes down to a little thing called the reverse design. In 1988, the mint was supposed to have updated the reverse design of the Lincoln Memorial. You know, that classic view of the monument with the itty-bitty statue of Lincoln in the middle. Well, the mint used a newer reverse design die on some of the 1989 coins, but oops, someone accidentally used that 1989 reverse die on a batch of 1988 coins. So what we have here is a 1988 penny with a reverse that technically belongs to 1989. Now this error is so rare that only a handful of these coins have ever been confirmed, and when something is that rare and in demand, the price tag shoots through the roof. Collectors have paid up to $1.3 million for a high-grade version of this coin. Let me say that again for the people in the back: $1.3 million for a penny. I mean, it almost makes you want to go metal detecting in your couch cushions, right? Alright, so now you're like, dude, how do I know if I've got the golden goose of pennies? Well, let me walk you through it. First, grab any 1988 penny with a D mint mark. Flip it over and look closely at the letters, specifically the word America. Here's the secret sauce. The 1988 D transitional error penny uses the reverse from 1989, which features what we call the white AM. You'll see more space between the letters A and M in America. Most regular 1988 pennies have a close AM where those letters practically hug each other like it's a middle school dance. If your coin has a white AM and a D mint mark from 1988, you might want to start Googling coin dealers like now, or just cancel your weekend plans and start checking every penny in the house. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my grandpa's toolbox and found a jar full of pennies. The thing looked like it hadn't been touched since the Nixon administration, so I figured, hey, maybe there's something good in here. I dumped the whole jar on the kitchen table and started sorting through them with the excitement of a bargain bin treasure hunter. After about an hour and way too many 1982s, I spotted it, a 1988 D penny, heart pounding, hands shaking. I flipped it over and squinted at the word America. I swear for a solid 10 seconds I thought I saw a white M. I was already dreaming about buying a Tesla named Penny. Turns out it was a regular close AM and I ended up just ordering pizza instead. But you know what? That moment changed everything. I started learning more about coin values. I got hooked and now here I am, talking to you fine folks about the thrill of the penny chase. So even if I didn't find the $1 million coin that day, I found a new hobby, and hey, that's pretty priceless, right? Part 5. Tips for beginners and coin hunters. Now, if you're new to this whole coin collecting thing, here's some quick and dirty tips. Get a magnifying glass and learn the details, especially letter spacing and mint marks. Use online resources like coin grading sites and YouTube videos like this one. Wink wink. Don't clean your coins, no matter how dirty they are. Leave them crusty, they're worth more that way. Store rare finds in holders or flips to keep them safe from scratches, moisture, and the family cat. And of course, be patient. You won't find a $1.3 million coin every day, but the fun is in the hunt and the knowledge you pick up along the way. Quick bonus round while you're checking for the 1988 D. Keep your eyes peeled for these gems. The 1992 close AM Lincoln penny, also rare. The 1995 double die obverse, you'll see doubling on Lincoln's face, and the lettering. The 1983 reverse double die Lincoln penny, another one that's worth good money. And of course, the legendary 1943 copper penny, which is like the holy grail of Lincoln cents. Basically, your coin jar might just be your retirement plan in disguise. So there you have it, folks, the tiny unassuming 1988 D penny that might just be your ticket to becoming a millionaire. I mean, how many stories out there involve someone finding a coin worth over $1 million in a handful of pocket change? It's like winning the lottery, except instead of picking numbers, you're just picking through couch cushions. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin, or maybe you've got a crazy penny story of your own? Drop it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, learned something new, or just like the idea of turning spare change into serious cash, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it with a friend who always tosses their change into a tip jar without looking. We've got more videos coming up breaking down valuable coins, tips for spotting hidden gems, and strategies to turn coin collecting into a money-making adventure. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just surprise you, the 1949 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's got some serious value, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss out on some cold, hard cash. So, stick around, because today we're talking about why this 1949 penny is worth a whopping $1.6 million, yes, million, and how you could be holding on to one without even knowing it. But first, hit that subscribe button. Don't be that person who forgets to like. We all know how that goes. Alright, let's get into it. So, the 1949 no mint mark Lincoln penny. I mean, you might be looking at your change jar right now, holding a coin that could change your life. Before we talk numbers, let's take a second to appreciate the history behind this little guy. We all know Abe Lincoln's face, right? Well, this coin features old honest Abe himself, and not just any year of his reign. The 1949 penny, specifically the no mint mark version, is one of those sleeper coins that can totally slip under the radar if you're not paying attention. And here's where things get interesting. So, how do you know if you've got one? Well, it's all about that no mint mark situation. Now, don't go thinking every penny from 1949 is a gold mine, okay? You have to make sure you're looking at one without a mint mark. If it's got a D or an S, that's a different story. We're talking about the ones that were minted in Philadelphia, the birthplace of the Liberty Bell, but you won't see a mint mark because that's how Philly rolls. Now, let's talk about why this penny is so valuable. Back in the day, these were just another penny in the pile. But here's the kicker, not a ton of these were kept in perfect condition. People tossed them in jars, changed their tires, and even used them as makeshift bottle openers. But the ones that are left in mint condition? Yeah, they've skyrocketed in value. Well, to understand that, we need to talk about rarity and condition. Two words you'll be hearing a lot in the world of rare coins. You see, when a penny is in pristine condition, or uncirculated, collectors go absolutely wild for it. It's like finding a vintage video game in perfect condition. Suddenly, it's the holy grail of collectibles. And if you thought your pocket change wasn't worth anything, let me tell you a little story about my own coin hunting days. So, back in the day, I was rooting through a pile of old coins from my grandfather's collection, and believe me, I wasn't expecting anything huge. Just some old stuff. Then, out of nowhere, I pull out a 1944 steel penny, and I'm like, this thing's cool, but what's it really worth? Fast forward, I'm watching an auction, and bam! It's sold for over $200. It was like I found a hidden treasure. So yeah, I learned the hard way to always check my coins closely. And trust me, you don't want to make that mistake with the 1949 penny. Now, back to our 1949 no-mint mark gem. If it's in good shape, you're looking at something with a value that makes you want to double-check your change jar every night before bed. We're talking about anywhere from a few $100 for ones in good condition all the way up to $1.6 million for a pristine, uncirculated one. Talk about some serious coinage. And I know what you're thinking, but how can I tell if my coin is in good condition? Well, the trick is to look at the details. Is Abe's beard still sharp? Is the date clearly visible? The more details you can see, the more likely you have a winner on your hands. If your penny looks like it's been through a war zone, don't worry, still hold on to it. Even worn-down coins can have some value depending on the rarity. The 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those hidden treasures that could be worth way more than you thought. If you've got one of these beauties tucked away in your collection or your pocket change jar, it might just be time to pull it out and take a closer look. And hey, if you're lucky enough to stumble upon one in mint condition, well, you're sitting on a potential gold mine. If you want to stay ahead of the game and learn more about coins that are worth big money, make sure you're subscribed. We've got more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way about coins that could be hiding right under your nose, and you don't want to miss out. Now, go check those pennies, and who knows, you might just find your ticket to a new house, car, or even a sweet vacation. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll catch you next time with more coin treasure hunts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video, because in the world of rare coins, it pays to stay informed. See you next time. Hey there coin hunters and curious minds, welcome back to the channel where your spare change might just be your ticket to the Millionaires Club. Now before you go digging under your couch cushions or flipping over your piggy bank, let me hit you with this. Did you know that a 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.5 million? That's right, 1 cent could potentially buy you a house, a car, and a lifetime supply of tacos if that's your thing. I know it sounds crazy. We've all seen pennies lying around like they're completely worthless, right? But hold on, because today we're diving into the jaw-dropping story behind this little copper superstar, how to spot one, what makes it so valuable, and whether you might just have one hiding in your pocket change right now. And stick around because I'll be sharing a personal story of how I almost threw away a valuable coin thinking it was just another regular OL penny. Yep, nearly cost myself a small fortune over a vending machine snack. Alright, first things first, let's break down what makes the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so darn special. So in 1977 the US Mint produced billions, and I mean billions, of Lincoln pennies. Now most of these coins were made at the Philadelphia Mint, and here's the kicker: Philadelphia didn't use a mint mark on its coins back then. That means if your penny doesn't have a little letter like D or S under the date, it's from Philly. Now usually no mint mark pennies aren't all that special, but once in a while there's a batch that's just a little off. Maybe there was a die error, maybe the metal composition was a bit funky, or maybe the coin came out looking different enough to catch a collector's eye. Whatever the reason, a few of these no-mint mark 1977 pennies have been graded in such pristine condition that collectors are willing to throw down serious cash for them. We're talking about coins graded MS67 or higher mint state. These are coins that have basically never seen the inside of a pocket coin jar or vending machine slot. They're perfect and rare, and that's where the value skyrockets. One of these beauties sold at auction for $1.5 million. I'm not kidding, $1.5 million for a penny that most of us would ignore on the sidewalk. What a time to be alive. Number 1, check for that mint mark, or rather the lack of it. Remember, no letter means it could be a Philly penny. Number 2, check the condition. Is it shiny, almost no scratches or dings? You might have a High grade coin number 3. Take it to a professional grader. If you think it looks pristine, you'd be surprised how many people sit on valuable coins for years without even knowing it. Now, let me tell you a quick story about how I learned this lesson the hard way. A couple years ago, I was cleaning out my car and I found a little stash of coins under the driver's seat. I'm talking lint gum wrappers and like $3 in change. I was about to dump them into a Coinstar machine when I decided, hey, why not take a closer look first? Thank goodness I did, because one of the pennies looked super shiny, like just minted shiny. I googled the date. It was a 1972 D penny with an odd coloration. Long story short, it turned out to be worth around $150. Not exactly $1 million, but hey, better than 1 cent. Right, that moment totally changed the way I look at coins, and now here I am telling you about this $1,977 Lincoln penny, hoping you'll check your stash before turning it into coffee money. And if you're wondering how often people actually find these rare coins, it's more often than you'd think. Garage sales, flea markets, estate cleanouts, or that old jar your grandpa kept in the basement. These places are gold mines for hidden treasures, so don't go tossing your pennies just yet. The 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny might seem like just another boring coin, but in reality it could be your lucky ticket to becoming a millionaire. That's the wild world of coin collecting, where tiny little details mean huge dollar signs. If you've got a coin collection or even just a bowl full of spare change at home, take a second and check those dates and conditions. You never know when you'll stumble across something truly life-changing. And hey, if you found today's video helpful or you're just enjoying the ride through the crazy world of valuable coins, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring the little notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could make you rich. We've got more videos coming on how to spot rare coins, what errors to look for, and stories of people who struck it rich with a pocket full of pennies. So grab a magnifying glass, maybe a flashlight, and start digging through that change jar. Who knows, you might just be sitting on a 1977 no mint mark penny worth $1.5 million. Hey, coin lovers and treasure hunters. You ever reach into your pocket, pull out some change, and think, meh, just some pennies? Well, let me stop you right there. One of those boring little copper coins might just be your golden ticket. I'm talking about a 2006 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Yep, just your average looking penny that could be worth a mind-blowing $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.6 million. For a coin most people wouldn't even bother to pick up off the sidewalk. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this humble little penny so insanely valuable, what to look for in your own collection or in your couch cushions, and I'll even tell you a personal story about how I almost threw away a coin that could have paid for a yacht. Spoiler alert, I still don't have a yacht. So grab your coffee, your coin jars, and maybe even a magnifying glass, because this one's gonna be fun. Alright, first things first. What's the deal with this 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Why is it worth more than a Ferrari? And how do you know if you have one? So in 2006, the US Mint was still producing the good old Lincoln cent. It had his sharp little profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Pretty standard stuff. But here's where it gets juicy. Most of these coins were minted in Philadelphia or Denver. If it was Denver, you'd see a tiny D under the year. But if it was Philadelphia, normally, you wouldn't see anything. Philly coins often come with no mint mark. But here's the catch. There's one version of this coin, super rare, where something went seriously haywire at the mint. We're talking a major die error. These particular no mint mark pennies had a unique combo of minting errors, high quality strike, and just pure luck. Only a handful were ever found in top condition. And when collectors catch wind of rarity like that, boom! Prices shoot through the roof. One of these bad boys, graded by a top-tier grading service as MS68, that's Mint State 68, basically near perfection, recently sold at auction for $1.6 million. That's more than a Lamborghini Aventador, for a coin that weighs less than a paperclip. Now here's where it gets funny. One day, a buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, was helping me clean out an old box of random stuff in my garage. We were sorting through junk coins when he holds up a penny and goes, "Dude, is this worth anything or should I just toss it?" I looked over and my heart almost fell out of my chest. It was a 2006 penny with no mint mark, and it looked minty fresh. I grabbed a magnifier, held it up to the light, started sweating. Could this be it? Long story short, it wasn't. It had a tiny scratch on the reverse, and the detail wasn't sharp enough. Worth maybe $1. Still, not bad for a penny, but definitely not yacht money. If Mike hadn't asked, if I hadn't looked closer, he would have chucked it. That could have been $1 million mistake. And let me tell you, Every time we hang out now, he jokingly brings a penny and asks if it's the one. Still waiting, Mike. Still waiting, second, the coin must be in top condition. We're talking shiny, crisp edges, full detail. Not your average beat-up pocket penny misaligned dies, doubled dies, off-center strikes, super sharp design stuff that stands out finally, and this is important, get it graded. You'll need a professional opinion from services like PCGS or NGC if you think you've got something special. If you find one and it comes back with a high mint state grade, boom. You could be sitting on six figures. Maybe even that legendary $1.6 million jackpot if it's one of the best. Now, don't get discouraged if your 2006 penny isn't the big winner. Every collector started somewhere. Even the guy who found the $1.6 million one probably thought he was just sorting through spare change. You never know when your lucky coin will show up. So next time you're at the store and the cashier hands you some pennies, don't just dump them in your car's cup holder. Take a peek. You might be holding a tiny piece of copper worth more than a mansion. Coins like the 2006 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny are a reminder that treasure is literally hiding in plain sight. You just need to know where to look and what to look for. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want more coin hunting tips, crazy rare finds, and real deal market values, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you never miss a chance to learn about the next $1 million coin. Trust me, you do not want to be the person who finds one and throws it back into circulation. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and curious minds? Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever found a penny lying on the ground and thought, is this little guy worth anything? Well, today we're diving deep into one penny that might just have you checking your spare change and your couch cushions just a little bit harder. We're talking about the 1993 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a penny worth millions. It's like finding a golden ticket in your wallet, except no chocolate bars, just cash. But wait, before you rush to grab all your pennies, let me tell you why this specific one is so special. Trust me, you're going to want to know what makes it worth more than your entire coin collection combined. So, grab your magnifying glass, your favorite snack, and let's get into it. This penny's about to blow your mind, alright? First things first, let's break down what makes the 1993 D-Mint Mark penny stand out. You're probably thinking, it's just another penny, right? But nope, this bad boy is a collector's dream. The key to its value? It's all about that mint mark and the specific way it was made. You see, every year, the US Mint prints billions of pennies, but only a small percentage of them are special. Most pennies from 1993 aren't anything to write home about. They're worth, well, 1 cent. But the 1993 D penny has something rare about it that turns it into a gold mine. The 1993 D penny in question has a striking error, a unique mistake that makes it super rare and highly valuable. This coin wasn't produced in the usual way. Some have a mistake in the die used to stamp the coins, causing them to look slightly different than others minted that year. And if you're lucky enough to find one of those rare versions, congratulations, you could be sitting on a $1.7 million treasure. Now, I know what you're thinking, but it's just a penny. How could it be worth that much? And I totally get it. I mean, I've been there. I used to find coins all the time in my old change jar, thinking they were just old and maybe, at best, worth a couple of bucks for their age. But there's something magical about the world of rare coins. They're like the lottery, but instead of playing the numbers, you're hunting for that 1 in a million coin. The 1993 D penny got its value because of how precise and rare the error is. It's not like finding a penny from 1909 or an old wheat penny, where those are special for their age alone. No, this is a coin that accidentally became something more, a penny that's now worth more than a fancy dinner out, and definitely more than most of our monthly grocery bills combined. So, here's where it gets interesting. What's the chance you'll find one of these rare pennies? Pretty slim. But, hey, if I can find an old coin worth a few $100 in the back of my couch, maybe you've got a little luck on your side too. Speaking of luck, let me tell you about the time I found a vintage penny while going through my change jar. I was on a mission to clean out all the loose coins, because, you know, those little guys accumulate like crazy, right? So, I start sifting through the pile, and one penny caught my eye. It looked different, maybe a little shinier than the others. My heart started racing. Was this the one? Was I holding the elusive $1 million penny? I flipped it over, squinted at it, and guess what? It was just a regular penny from the 1980s. But hey, close enough, right? I mean, that's part of the thrill of coin hunting. You never know if today's the day you'll strike it rich. So I kept on searching and dreaming of that day when I find a 1993 D penny. You know, the one worth $1.70 million. How can you find this $1,000,000 gem? Well, my friends, it's all about knowing what to look for. First, check the mint mark. If it's got a D on it, that's a good sign. But the real key is spotting those die errors. The die errors make the penny look a bit different from the rest. It's like finding a hidden Easter egg. Some subtle variations in how the design was struck make the coin rarer and more valuable. Trust me, it's worth learning how to spot these errors, because they can make all the difference between a penny worth a cent and one that could pay for your next vacation. If you're not sure whether your 1993 D penny has those valuable errors, you can always take it to a professional coin appraiser. They'll know exactly how to spot the real deal. Just be prepared for the rush of excitement when you hand it over and they tell you, yep, that's a $1.7 million penny. Now, here's the fun part. Not only does finding a rare coin like the 1993 D penny feel like winning the lottery, but it's also an amazing investment opportunity. Rare coins often appreciate over time, which means their value can continue to grow, sometimes even faster than the stock market. So, if you're not only in it for the fun of finding cool coins but also want to build your wealth, coin collecting might just be your secret weapon. I mean, who would have thought pennies could be the gateway to financial freedom, right? Everything you need to know about the 1993 D mint mark Lincoln penny and why it could be worth a staggering $1.7 million. It's a perfect example of how coins can be much more than just pocket change. They're little treasures that could change your life. Before you go diving through your coin jar and running to the bank to buy up all the pennies you can find, here's my call to action for you. Hit that subscribe button, because I've got tons of tips coming your way on other coins worth serious cash. You don't want to miss out on future videos where we'll dive into even more rare coins that could make you a fortune. And hey, if you find a 1993 D penny, let me know. I might be a little jealous, but I'll also be really excited for you. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and who knows, you might just have a little gold mine in your pocket. Hey coin lovers and curious collectors, welcome back to the channel where pocket change could just turn into pocket gold. You ever wonder if that crusty old penny sitting in your sock drawer could actually make you a millionaire? Well, grab your magnifying glass and let's dive in, because today we're talking about the 1961 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth an eye-watering, jaw-dropping, I can't believe it, $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.1 million for a single penny. Now I know what you're thinking, there's no way my grandpa's change jar is sitting on a gold mine. Well, today we're going to find out. If you've got a 1961 D penny, you might just be holding onto the hottest copper ticket since Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Alright, enough of the suspense, let's dig into the copper-coated story of this $1,000,000 marvel. Alright, so first off, what's the big deal about the 1961 D penny? I mean, it's not ancient, it doesn't have a pirate map etched into it. It wasn't smuggled out of a pharaoh's tomb, so what gives? Well, it turns out this penny is the perfect storm of rarity, historical context, and a few quirks that make collectors go absolutely bananas. Back in 1961, the Denver Mint pumped out over 1.75 billion of these little guys. That's billion with a B, so why would one be worth more than a Bugatti? The answer, my friends, lies in something every collector lives for: minting errors in pristine condition. Let's break it down like your buddy who explains fantasy football with a whiteboard in too much passion. Number 1, condition. If your 1961 D penny looks like it just came fresh off the press and is what we call in the coin world a red MS67 or higher, it's gonna catch some serious eyes. That's mint state 67. For those new to the lingo, it means the coin basically has no or full luster and looks like it's been chilling in a coin spa for 60 years now. Number 2, minting errors. This is where it gets spicy. Think double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or what we call RPMs. Yes, I know it sounds like something off a car dashboard, but trust me, it's coin collector catnip. If your 1961 D penny has one of these errors, especially a dramatic one, collectors will throw cash at you like it's a TikTok giveaway. Let me give you a quick personal story. So a couple years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage, you know, the usual dusty boxes, tools from 1983, a lawn chair missing a leg, and he goes, "Hey, can you toss the jar of change into the coin machine?" Later I glance at it and something just clicks. I spot this really shiny penny that looked kinda odd. Turns out it was a 1961 D penny in really sharp condition. Long story short, I had it appraised, and let's just say I paid off my student loans faster than a hiccup. Now, full disclaimer, not every 1961 D penny is worth $1 million. Most are only worth face value unless they're in exceptional condition or have those rare mint errors. But here's the kicker: even if you sell one for a few hundred Or a few thousand, that's still a huge win for something you probably ignored while looking for quarters for laundry. And let's talk about the big winner here, a specific 1961 D Lincoln Penny graded MS67 Plus red by PCGS, sold at auction for a whopping $1.1 million. That's right, it broke the million mark. Why? Because it was near perfect with deep red luster, no visible marks, and likely the best known example of its kind. Collectors fight over coins like this harder than people at a Black Friday TV sale. So what should you look for when hunting for your own copper jackpot? Step 1, check the date and look for the D under the year. If it's not there, sorry buddy, this episode isn't for you. Step 2, inspect it closely for errors. If it looks like Abe's beard got hit by a snowstorm where the D mint mark is doubled, you might be onto something. Step 3, get it graded. Don't just toss it on eBay with rare old penny in the title. You need a professional to confirm the grade and authenticity, PCGS or NGCR. Your best bets here. Now here's a little tip: if you're using one of those coin sorting machines at the grocery store, just stop. You could be tossing a fortune into the bin and getting a printed receipt for $4.17. You're better off checking every coin yourself. And if that sounds like too much work, well, you better hope your grandma didn't already cash out her coin collection to buy a garden gnomo. And let's not forget the historical value too. The 60s were a wild time, and having a coin from that era, especially one in mint condition, is like holding a tiny shiny piece of American history in your hand. So what have we learned today, folks? That a penny might actually be worth more than your car, that checking your change is the new gold rush, and that your uncle's garage might just be your ticket to a luxury vacation. If you've got a 1961 D penny lying around, take a second look. It might just be your retirement plan in disguise. And if you don't have one, don't worry, there are still plenty of coins out there worth money. You just need to know what to look for, and that's exactly why you should hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring that little notification bell, because we've got more tips, tricks, and coin hunting strategies coming your way. We're all about turning coins into cash, stories into strategies, and curiosity into cold hard collectibles. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You've officially joined the ranks of the coin curious and maybe even the coin rich. Until next time, keep checking that change, and remember, every penny has a story, maybe even $1 million one. Hey there, treasure hunters and curious coin lovers. Let me ask you a question real quick. Have you ever found a penny and thought, it's just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that you could be holding onto a single penny that's worth more than a Lamborghini, a down payment on a mansion, or heck, an entire college education? Yeah, I'm talking about a 2004 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. You heard me right. $1.2 million. So, before you toss your change in the tip jar or let it rattle around in your couch cushions, you might want to check out this episode. We're gonna dive deep into the story behind this coin, what makes it so dang special, how to spot one, and why someone would fork out $1 million for a coin you probably ignored at the gas station. Stick around, cause by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how your penny could turn into a payday. So, most 2004 pennies will have either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But once in a while, one sneaky little penny slips through the cracks with no mint mark at all. Boom! That's our golden goose. Or should I say, copper goose. Now normally, a missing mint mark doesn't mean a whole lot. But in this case, it's not just the lack of the mint mark that makes this penny special, it's the combo of that, some unique striking errors, and its condition. This particular $1 million baby had a perfect storm: no mint mark, off-center strike, a rare double die obverse, and it's in pristine, mint state condition. Basically, this penny showed up to the coin game in a tuxedo and said, "I'm not like other coins." Collectors go absolutely wild for this kind of thing. You see, it's like finding a typo on a super rare Pokemon card that makes it 10 times more valuable. It's that 1 in a million moment, literally. Let me tell you a little story here. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her garage. You know, the kind of day where you find old VHS tapes, Tupperware lids with no bottoms, and that one garden gnome with the missing nose. Anyway, I'm digging through an old cookie tin filled with pennies, because that's just classic grandma behavior, and something catches my eye. This one penny looks a little weird. No mint mark. So, I hang on to it, but you know what? That tiny little discovery kicked off my obsession with coin collecting. I started digging deeper, learning more, and here we are today, making YouTube videos and nerding out about coins with all of you. Any striking errors like double dies, off-center designs, or weird coloring? Bonus points if you got it in a roll straight from the bank or a sealed bag. Now if you think you've got something special, don't go cashing it in for a soda just yet. Take it to a professional coin grading service. PCGS or NGC are the big dogs. If they confirm it's the real deal, congratulations, you just found a penny worth more than a Tesla. Or two. And if you're wondering who even pays $1.2 million for a penny? Oh buddy, the world of coin collecting is wild. Wealthy collectors, auction houses, museums, there are people out there who collect rare coins like others collect Ferraris or vintage guitars. It's all about rarity, condition, and that sweet coin lore. Point 1, you never know what kind of treasure is hiding in plain sight. 2, always check your change. And 3, grandma's cookie tin might just be your path to becoming a millionaire. The 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a story, a symbol of how something ordinary can become extraordinary. All it takes is the right eye, a little luck, and maybe a magnifying glass. So the next time someone tells you, it's just a penny, you can smile and say, yeah, but it might be $1 million one. If you had fun hanging out with me today, learn something new, or just enjoy the thrill of hunting for hidden treasure, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash the like. We've got tons more videos coming on coins worth big money and how to spot 'em. Trust me, you don't want to miss it, and hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found something valuable in your pocket change. Who knows, you might be the next coin collecting legend we feature on this channel. Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where we talk about small coins with huge value. If you're new here, buckle up because today's topic is going to blow your mind. Now let me ask you something, what if I told you there's a plain looking penny from 1985 with no mint mark that's actually worth a staggering $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard me right, a single cent that's worth more than a Ferrari, more than a house in some states, and definitely more than my entire wardrobe combined. You might be thinking, come on, it's just a regular old penny from your pocket change. Well, think again, because this little copper champion might be hiding in your junk drawer right now, and I've got all the juicy details coming up, including what makes this coin special, how to tell if you have one, and the story of how I almost threw away a coin worth thousands of dollars. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and let's dig into the fascinating story of the 1985 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Alright, first things first, let's talk about the basics. The 1985 Lincoln penny was part of the regular run of coins produced by the US Mint. It features good old Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Sounds pretty average, right? But here's where it gets spicy. Normally these pennies have a mint mark that tells you where they were made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But if your 1985 penny has no mint mark at all, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Now you might be thinking, okay, cool, but what's so special about that? Well, not all no mint mark 1985 pennies are valuable, but there's a rare error variety that was struck with a flaw in the die, and when I say rare, I mean rarer than a teenager willingly doing the dishes. These rare error coins can feature things like double die obverse soft center strikes or even planchet issues combined. That with no mint mark and BAM, you've got a coin that collectors drool over like it's a deep dish pizza on a Saturday night. Some of these error coins in pristine uncirculated condition have fetched over $1.3 million at auction. That's not just collector hype, that's cold hard cash, and if you're lucky enough to find one of these in your change, you could be the next person laughing all the way to the bank. Let me share a quick story. So a few years ago I was doing laundry, and like every broke college kid I was scavenging for coins in the couch cushions. You know how it is. I found a handful of pennies and almost chucked them into a jar for laundry money, but then I noticed one of them looked off. The lettering was kind of thick and the date looked a little funky. I didn't think much of it, but something told me to hold on to it. Fast forward 2 weeks later, I was watching a video just like this one in BAM. They mentioned a rare 1985 penny with no mint mark and unusual features. I nearly choked on my coffee. I ran to my jar, fished out the coin, and sure enough, it was worth several $1,000. I sold it, and let me tell you, laundry's never been the same since. Now let's talk condition, because that's where the big money is. A 1985 no mint mark penny with errors in circulated condition might get you a few $100 if it's really noticeable, but a penny in mint state condition, say MS65 or higher, that's where the jackpot is. That's when you start getting into 5 or 6 figure territory. And one very special one crossed that $1 million mark because of its rarity, flawless condition, and collector demand. Also, let's be real, this kind of stuff is like the modern day gold rush, except instead of pickaxes and wagons, all you need is a good eye and maybe a magnifying glass and possibly better lighting than the weird yellow bulb in your kitchen. Inspect for any weirdness in the lettering or image, doubling off center strikes, strange ridges, or other odd features. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope. These babies can reveal details your eyes just can't see, and if you're not sure, take it to a coin shop or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. It might cost a few bucks, but if it turns out to be the real deal, you just turned pocket change into a fortune. Here's another fun fact: there are people who literally go to banks, get rolls of pennies, take them home, and go through them one by one hunting for treasures. It's like metal detecting but without the sunburn. And hey, don't underestimate the power of coin hunting. I know a guy who started doing this as a hobby, and now he's got a full-time eBay business selling rare coins, and he just bought a car with the profits not too shabby for playing with pennies, right? So there you have it, folks. The 1985 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny might look like just another coin, but in the right condition it could change your life. That 1 cent could become $1.3 million, and let's be honest, that's one heck of a return on investment. Now, before you go diving headfirst into your change jar or raiding your grandma's coin collection, make sure you know what to look for, and remember, the rarest treasures often come in the smallest packages, so always check your change. If you learned something new today, if you smiled or even just laughed a little at my laundry story, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now and join the community of everyday treasure hunters just like you. We're always sharing coin tips, tricks, rare finds, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Don't forget to like the video, drop a comment if you've ever found something cool in your coins, and share this video with a friend who needs a little extra motivation to check their couch cushions. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Picture this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change to hit up the vending machine, and boom, you stumble across a plain old 1989 penny. Nothing fancy, no mint mark, just Abraham Lincoln staring back at you like he always does. But what if I told you that boring little penny might be worth a jaw-dropping $1.30 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.3 million. For a penny that you probably ignored 5 minutes ago. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the mystery and magic behind the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and why collectors are losing their minds and their wallets over it. We're going to talk about the history, the error, what to look for, and how you might just have a mini fortune sitting in your piggy bank. And hey, by the end of this video, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. I guarantee it. Let's go back to 1989. George Bush Sr. was president. Everyone was rocking neon windbreakers. And pennies were still being made mostly out of zinc with a thin layer of copper. The mint facilities were churning these out by the millions. But here's the kicker: something went a little wonky at the Philadelphia Mint. And now, most pennies minted in Philly don't carry a mint mark. That's normal. So why's the no mint mark 1989 penny such a big deal? Well, it's all about a super rare die error combined with unusual striking characteristics. Some of these coins ended up with extra details, weird doubling, and super crisp edges. Think of it like the VIP edition of a regular penny. There's also something about the spacing of the letters, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, and other tiny details that make collectors go, oh snap. That's the one. Now, not every 1989 no mint mark penny is a millionaire, let me be clear. Most of them are still worth 1 cent, sad but true. The $1.3 million version? That one is basically the unicorn of the bunch. It's the ultra-rare, top-graded MS-70 kind of coin, preserved better than a mummy in a museum. A few years ago, my buddy Jeff, super chill guy, kinda forgetful, was clearing out his late grandfather's coin collection. He almost tossed a bunch of old pennies into a Coinstar machine until I shouted, "Dude, what are you doing?" We sat down with some gloves, because coin nerds don't mess around, and after a few hours of sorting through crusty nickels and mysterious Canadian change, we found this shiny, super clean 1989 penny. No mint mark. Looks like it came straight off the press yesterday. And now, I'm not saying it's the $1.3 million penny, but we sent it off for grading and it came back as MS-67. He flipped it for just over $3,500. Not a million, but not bad for something he almost turned into a Diet Coke. No mint mark under the date. That's normal for Philly coins. Extra sharp design details, like Lincoln's beard looking extra fuzzy, and crisp errors like doubling, especially on Liberty or In God We Trust. If you think you've got a hot one, don't just take it to your local coin shop and hope for the best. Send it in to be graded by a pro, like PCGS or NGC. That's how you get the serious buyers interested. Don't clean your coin. I know it's tempting, but collectors like the original gunk. It's weird, I know, but hey, I don't make the rules. Scarcity, baby. Scarcity and condition. A few of these ultra-rare 1989 no mint mark pennies have surfaced in pristine condition. And when you mix rarity with mint perfection, collectors start tossing around six-figure checks like Monopoly money. Some even hit auctions where bidding wars break out like a WWE match. Imagine that, two rich collectors in a tuxedo slap fight over a penny. Beautiful. As of today, the finest known examples are valued at around $1.3 million, especially if they're flawless MS-70 or close to it. Lower graded ones? Still pulling in hundreds to thousands of dollars. It's not just hype either. This value has been backed by real sales and verified auction data. If you see someone offering you a couple $100 for a pristine 1989 no mint mark penny, run. Or at least negotiate like your rent depends on it. Well, first off, never underestimate a penny. Especially one from 1989 with no mint mark. It might look ordinary, but it could be your ticket to financial freedom or at least a killer vacation. Second, if you've got a jar full of coins somewhere, start digging. Seriously. That thing might be a goldmine in disguise. Get some gloves, a magnifying glass, and maybe a flashlight for dramatic effect. And third, if you ever think, it's just a penny, remember, that tiny copper coin could be worth more than your car. Or your neighbor's car. Or your neighbor's house, depending on how lucky you get. Alright, Coin Crew, if you enjoyed hanging out and geeking out about treasure hiding in plain sight, do me a solid to smash that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and drop a comment if you've ever found something cool in your change. Got a rare coin story? I want to hear it. I'll be back with more coin facts, collecting tips, and wild stories about everyday money turning into million-dollar marvels. Alright, picture this. You're digging through your junk drawer. You know, the one with the old batteries, some paper clips, a few mystery keys you swear you've seen before, and what's this? An old penny? You squint at it, it's a 1968 penny, no mint mark. Now pause. What if I told you that penny could be worth up to $1.4 million? Yep, I'm serious. No, I haven't lost it. You're about to find out how a simple penny, one that could be sitting in your pocket or jammed between your car seats, might just be your ticket to an early retirement, a new car, or at least a whole lot of tacos. So grab your coffee, settle in, because today we're diving into the wild, weird, and surprisingly wealthy world of the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it was part of the regular issue pennies released that year. Most were struck at the Denver Mint and the San Francisco Mint, which are marked with little d or s letters. But a select few were made in Philadelphia, and those? No mint mark at all. And now normally, Philadelphia pennies without mint marks aren't anything special. In fact, for most years, it's business as usual. But 1968? Oh no, 1968 decided to be extra. See, in 1968, the US Mint had just reinstated mint marks after removing them for a few years. Philly, being the cool rebel mint that it is, still didn't use one. So most folks ignored those pennies, tossed them in jars, let them collect dust. But some of those no mint mark pennies? They were struck with an incredibly sharp die, near perfect centering, and the copper composition was on point. Combine that with time, rarity, and a few collectors getting real excited, and bam! Suddenly, you're looking at a penny that's selling in high-end auctions for over $1 million. Now before you sprint to your couch cushions, let's talk about what makes the valuable ones stand out. If your penny looks like it got chewed up by a blender, it's probably not a jackpot winner. But if it's crisp, shiny, sharp details, barely circulated, that's the dream. Collectors call it mint state or MS, and the higher the grade, the higher the cha-ching. Some 1968 no mint mark pennies have errors that make them worth even more. Doubled dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets are all quirky little mistakes that make collectors drool. It's like the coin version of a limited edition sneaker drop. Some of these rare coins have a mirror-like shine. Not common for regular circulation pennies. If yours looks like it's showing off, it might just be one of those proof-like treasures. Now let me tell you a quick story. I once helped my uncle clean out his garage, mainly because he bribed me with pizza and the promise of finding vintage treasures. Well, among the mountain of sawdust, rusted screws, and old bottle caps, we found this dusty box of coins. We didn't think much of it until I noticed a 1968 penny that looked different. No mint mark. Sharp design. Very clean. We sent it off to be graded. It wasn't worth $1.4 million, but it sold for a whopping $2,000. And let me tell you, that pizza tasted even better after that. Now let's talk current market value. As of right now, top-tier mint state 1968 no mint mark pennies have sold at auction for as high as $1.4 million. That's verified. That's real. And it's driven by rarity, condition, and good old-fashioned collector mania. Even if you don't have the $1 million one, lower-grade versions still sell for tens, hundreds, even thousands. That's not bad for something you might find under your sofa cushions next to the remote you lost in 2019. That not all pennies are created equal. That 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny you've been ignoring? It could be a small copper miracle. Coins like these remind us that treasure doesn't always sparkle, it might just be hiding in plain sight, smelling faintly of lint. And hey, even if you don't strike gold or copper, you'll be surprised how many cool coins are just out there waiting to be discovered. It's like real life Pokemon, but instead of battling gym leaders, you're battling eBay bidders. Dig through your jars. Go on a coin quest. And when you find something interesting, drop it in the comments. I love hearing your coin finds. And if you want more tips on spotting valuable coins, coin collecting hacks, and strategies to turn pennies into piles of cash, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the like. Turn on that bell so you don't miss a single cent of info, because around here, we believe in making sense make sense. Have you ever had a penny in your hand that you almost tossed into a tip jar or dropped between your car seat and the center console, never to be seen again? Well, what if I told you one of those dusty, copper-colored coins might be worth a whopping $1.5 million today? That's right. I'm talking about the 1949 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Yep. A humble little coin from your grandpa's piggy bank might just be your ticket to early retirement. Stick around because in today's video, we're diving deep into the wild world of one small but mighty coin. We'll break down why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and I'll even share a hilarious story about the time I almost spent one on a vending machine Snickers bar. Spoiler alert, I'm still haunted. So grab your coin jars, put on your detective hat, and let's get rich, one penny at a time. First off, the 1949 no mint mark Lincoln penny might look like your everyday pocket change. I mean, it's just Abe Lincoln sitting there, chillin' on the front, looking like he's got some secrets. And oh boy, he does. Back in 1949, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these pennies. And when I say millions, I mean it, over 217 million to be exact. That's a lot of pennies, right? So why the heck would one be worth $1.5 million today? Not all 1949 pennies are created equal. While most are just good old copper coins, a select few were struck with incredible precision, made from rare planchets, or have bizarre errors that collectors lose their minds over. And those are the ones fetching ridiculous prices at auctions. Some of the most valuable versions of this coin include ones with a double die errors where the design is slightly duplicated, makes Abe look like he's got a twin, or planchet errors, which means the coin was made on the wrong kind of metal. And yes, some of these weirdos have been confirmed to sell for over $1 million. I mean, that's wild, right? You're telling me a coin smaller than a bottle cap could buy me a house, a car, and probably a lifetime supply of Taco Bell? Now let me tell you about the time I almost made the dumbest mistake of my life. I'm at work, digging for quarters in my desk drawer to hit the vending machine. I'm starving, haven't eaten since breakfast, and I'm ready to throw hands for a candy bar. I grab some change and find this old, crusty penny. Something about it felt different. It looked a little shinier, kinda off-center. I was this close to dropping it into the machine, but something told me, hey dummy, maybe Google this thing first. Turns out, it was a 1949 no mint mark penny with some seriously strange features. I had it checked by a local coin dealer and, get this, he offered me 6 figures on the spot. I politely declined, obviously, because I'm holding out for the full 1.5 million. Gotta dream big, right? Go through those old jars, dusty drawers, grandma's sewing kit, wherever loose coins gather like little metal nomads. Look for that 1949 penny without a mint mark, and examine it for any signs of oddity. Use a magnifying glass if you have to. Get nerdy with it, and if you find one that looks funky, double strike, off-center, weird metal, anything, have it graded professionally. Coin grading companies like PCGS or NGC are your best bet. Because once that sucker is authenticated and given a high grade, you could be looking at a literal life changer. Even if you don't find the $1 million version, some of these pennies in decent condition can still snag you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Not too shabby for something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the sidewalk. The next time someone tells you pennies are worthless, just hit them with, not if it's a 1949 no mint mark, and walk away dramatically. Maybe toss a penny on the ground for effect, but seriously, there's real money hiding in plain sight. Coin collecting doesn't have to be complicated or boring. It's like a real-life treasure hunt, and you might already be sitting on gold. Or copper. You get what I mean. Not if you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just want to hear more stories about coins that are secretly worth a fortune, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and tap the bell so you don't miss out on more coin tips and cash-worthy finds, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin, or if you're just starting your collecting journey. I'd love to hear your stories, and I promise not to trade you a Snickers for your rare penny. Maybe. Hey folks, have you ever looked at a penny and thought, meh, just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that one dusty old penny from 1978, yeah, the one without a mint mark, could actually be worth $1.6 million today? That's right, a single copper coin could be your ticket to early retirement, a new car, or heck, even a house with a bowling alley. And now, before you go flipping over your couch cushions or raiding grandma's change jar, stick around. In this video, we're diving deep into why this specific 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny is turning heads in the coin collecting world. We'll cover how to spot one, why it's so valuable, and this is the fun part, how I almost spent one on a vending machine Snickers bar. No joke. So grab a comfy seat, maybe your own jar of loose change, and let's talk coins that could make you rich. Alright, so here's the scoop. Most pennies minted in 1978 were struck in Philadelphia, and Philly coins usually don't carry a mint mark. So you might be thinking, wait, aren't all 1978 pennies without a mint mark? Yes and no. See, while it's true that the Philadelphia Mint didn't stamp their pennies with a mint mark that year, only some of these coins have certain errors or special characteristics that make them insanely valuable. And by insanely valuable, I mean $1.6 million kind of valuable. That's like winning the lottery, but in pocket change form. Here's where it gets juicy. The real money is in the pennies that have rare minting errors, like off-center strikes, double dies, or crazy things like being struck on the wrong planchet. A 1978 no mint mark penny with a dramatic error can fetch big bucks. One particular coin, in pristine condition with a rare misstrike and incredible eye appeal, sold for a whopping $1.6 million. That's what separates the average penny from the penny that buys you a yacht. Now I know you're itching to check your pockets. So here's what to look for: a no mint mark under the date. That's standard for Philly. Lincoln's hair should be crisp, the lettering clear, and the edges well defined. Any unusual markings or doubling in the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" that could mean a double die, weird shapes, off-center strikes, or anything that looks funky. If it looks odd, don't toss it, and condition is key. If your penny's been through the laundry 10 times or has been living in the glove box since disco was hot, it might not be worth millions. But if it looks like it just rolled off the press, jackpot potential. Okay, story time. A couple years ago, I was hangry. You know that kind of hungry where you're angry at anything that isn't food? I hit up a vending machine and pulled out some change. As I was about to pop in a penny for a Snickers bar, yeah, I still thought pennies helped with vending machines. Something about it caught my eye. It looked shiny. Sharp details. No mint mark. I didn't know much about coins then, but something told me to keep it. Fast forward a few weeks, I showed it to a buddy who collects coins. His jaw dropped. He looked at me like I handed him a winning lottery ticket. Turns out, while it wasn't the $1 million coin, it was still worth a few $100. Moral of the story? Never underestimate your change. And maybe always carry a granola bar instead. While we're here, keep an eye out for other wild ones like the 1943 copper penny, the 1969 S double die, and even some recent pennies with weird errors. Basically, your pocket change might be hiding more treasure than you think. It's like modern-day treasure hunting, but without the pirates or the seasickness. Coin collectors, that's who. And they're not messing around. They value history, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt. That 1978 penny isn't just a coin, it's a piece of American history with a twist, a rare error that makes it one of a kind. That's like finding a misprinted baseball card or a rare comic, only smaller and made of copper. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, if you've made it this far, congratulations, you now know more about the 1978 no mint mark penny than 99% of the population. So here's your homework: dig through your coin jars, raid your piggy banks, and maybe casually offer to search change for your friends and family. Who knows? You might be sitting on a penny worth more than a Lamborghini. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, had a few laughs, or just learned something new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips coming your way on coins worth money, how to spot hidden treasures, and how not to accidentally spend $1 million coin on chocolate. Like, comment with your coolest coin find, And don't forget to tap that notification bell so you never miss a hidden gem. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where your pocket change might just be more valuable than your entire wardrobe, and yeah, that includes your limited edition sneakers and that dusty baseball card collection you swear is worth something. Now here's a question that's gonna knock your socks off. What if I told you that a simple 2007 Lincoln penny you could have spent on gum at the corner store might actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? That's right, a single copper-colored coin just chillin' in your change jar could be your golden ticket. Sounds like a plot twist in a sitcom, right? Well, stick around because today we're diving deep into the wild world of the 2007 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and what makes this humble little coin potentially worth more than a Lamborghini. Alright, before you start flipping over every penny in your couch cushions, let's take it back to basics. The 2007 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, minted in Denver, hence the little D mint mark under the date. Now these coins were minted by the millions, literally, so you're probably wondering, how can one of them be worth $1.7 million? Is it made of solid gold? Did Lincoln himself autograph it? Did someone accidentally melt a Rolex into the coin press? Well, not exactly, but it's just as cool. This specific 2007 penny that fetched $1.7 million wasn't just any ordinary penny, it was a minting error, a spectacular one, and when it comes to coin collectors, errors are like finding a Picasso at a garage sale. So what kind of error are we talking about? Well, in the case of this legendary coin, it was a double die obverse error. Basically, the die that stamped Lincoln's face onto the coin shifted ever so slightly during production. This resulted in a ghostly looking double image on parts of Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions, especially the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." Kinda like Lincoln had a twin and they were photobombing each other. Combined that with a pristine condition graded MS69 red and boom, you've got the holy grail of modern pennies. Only one has been officially discovered in this condition with this exact error, making it a true one of one. And when something is that rare and that unique, collectors go bananas over it, hence the $1.7 million price tag. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, sure, I probably spent that coin on a soda in 2008, and you know what, same. Let me tell you a little story. Back in 2015, I was at a flea market in Ohio just browsing for some vintage records, and I came across this old guy selling coins out of a tackle box. He had this 2007 penny labeled as a weird looking face penny, selling for $10. I kid you not, in bucks. And you know what I did? He passed on it, said, "Nah, I'll save my $10 for a corn dog and a root beer." Fast forward to today, and that coin could have paid off my student loans, bought me a house, and still left enough change for that corn dog. First check for that double image, especially in liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." Use a magnifying glass or even your phone camera with zoom. Weary talking shiny, no scratches, looks like it just came out of the mint yesterday. And finally, it needs to be authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now, even if you don't have the $1 million version, don't toss your 2007 pennies just yet. Some with minor errors still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some have off-center strikes, some are missing part of the design, and some are just unusually shiny or red, and that alone can catch a collector's eye. Plus, if you get into coin collecting, it's kinda like modern treasure hunting. You start looking at your change a little differently. You start hanging out in coin forums, and suddenly you're having serious conversations about the thickness of a coin's rim. It's a hobby that's weirdly relaxing, a bit nerdy, and hey, potentially very profitable. So next time you get change at the grocery store, take a second look at that penny, because that little copper coin might just be your ticket to early retirement, or at least a really fancy vacation to the Bahamas. And if nothing else, it's a great party story. Now, if you enjoyed hanging out today and want more fun stories, tips, and strategies on how to spot valuable coins, hit that subscribe button. We've got videos coming every week showing you how to turn pocket change into a payday. Don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird coin in your change. Let's keep the conversation going, because who knows, your story could be the next $1 million discovery. Have you ever found a coin lying around in your pocket or couch cushions, only to wonder, what if this is worth millions? Well, today, I've got a story for you that might just make you rethink your loose change situation. We're diving into the world of the 1989 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard me right. A single penny that could be worth a whopping $1.8 million. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? But stick with me, because by the end of this video, you might be checking every penny you own with a magnifying glass. And who knows? You could have a hidden treasure on your hands. Alright, let's break it down. The 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. What's the deal with this penny? What makes it so special that it could fetch you $1.8 million at auction? I mean, we're talking about a penny, not a gold bar, right? Well, mint marks are those tiny letters you'll often see on coins, like the D for Denver or the S for San Francisco. But in 1989, something weird happened. Some pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark. That's right, some sneaky little pennies slipped through the cracks of the minting process without any identifying mark. Well, that's the twist. It turns out that these unmarked pennies are super rare. And when it comes to rare coins, the rarer, the better. The value of these no mint mark pennies has been going up and up over the years. But let's rewind for a second. You're 12 years old, and your grandma hands you a jar of pennies. She says, "Take these and save them for later." You're thinking, okay, thanks for the future hoard of copper. Fast forward 10 years, your grandma's gone, and you're cleaning out the garage. You grab that jar and start looking through it, right? At first, it's a bunch of dull pennies, some with that greenish tint of age, others just kind of, well, boring. But then, you come across something different. One penny doesn't have the D or S you're used to seeing. It's blank. And you think, wait a second, this could be important. And that's when the magic happens. You pull up your phone, start Googling 1989 no mint mark penny, and bam, there it is. You find out that this little guy could be worth $1.8 million if it's in the right condition. You drop your phone in shock, your heart races, and you think, this is the moment where I go from zero to millionaire. Okay, so maybe this exact scenario hasn't happened to you yet, but it's crazy how these things happen. You could be holding onto a $1.8 million penny and not even know it. This is why coin collecting is such a thrill. Now, let's talk about the condition of the penny. I hate to break it to you, but just having a 1989 no mint mark penny doesn't automatically mean you're rich. There's a huge difference in value based on the coin's condition. The pennies that are most valuable are those that are in excellent condition, no scratches, no discoloration, no weird marks. If you've got one of these mint condition pennies, you could be holding on to a small fortune. But if your penny looks like it's been through a few wars and a couple of laundry cycles, well, it's still worth something, just not a fortune. The market for rare coins is like a roller coaster. The value of certain coins can skyrocket one year and drop the next, so timing and patience are key. But when you're dealing with something as rare as the 1989 no mint mark penny, the potential payoff is huge. So, a couple of years ago, I was going through a box of old coins my dad gave me. Most of them were from the 70s, nothing too fancy. But I remembered him telling me about how he once found a coin that was worth more than he thought. It got me thinking, what if I find a hidden gem too? I spent hours sorting through coins. Most of them were the usual stuff, like memorial pennies or old nickels. And then, out of nowhere, I found this one penny. It wasn't 1989, but it was something special, an old 1914 D penny. I had heard rumors about its potential value and thought, this could be my big break. Long story short, after doing some research and sending it off to a professional appraiser, I found out it was worth a couple $1,000. Nothing near $1.8 million, but hey, that's still a nice chunk of change. And it taught me a valuable lesson. Sometimes, the treasure is hiding in plain sight, and you just have to know where to look. If you happen to find a 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. It could be your ticket to financial freedom or at least a really nice vacation. But seriously, keep your eyes peeled, because rare coins can pop up when you least expect them. And who knows, maybe your next pocket change discovery will make you the next $1 million coin owner. And now, I know this is a lot of info to take in, but trust me, coin collecting can be a fun and rewarding hobby, and if you stay patient, you might just end up with something that's worth more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you don't miss out on more tips and tricks for spotting coins that are worth serious money. I'll be dropping more videos on the rarest, most valuable pennies and other coins that could make you rich. So go ahead, dig through those old jars of pennies, and remember, you never know when the next big find is just around the corner. Hey, what's up, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and accidental millionaires in the making? Have you ever checked your spare change and thought, meh, just a penny, who cares? Well, today I'm about to flip your perspective harder than a pancake on Sunday morning, because hiding in plain sight inside pockets, drawers, and old coffee cans is a 1988 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that's worth not one, not two, but $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard me right, a single cent could be worth more than your car, your house, your student loans, and your ex's rent combined. So don't toss that penny just yet, because by the end of this video you'll be eyeballing every copper coin like it owes you money, and spoiler alert, it just might. Alright, let's dive into why this 1988 no mint mark penny is making collectors go wild, and how you might just have a fortune sitting between two french fries in your car seat. Normally when a coin is made, it gets a little letter on it to show where it was born, like a hospital bracelet, but shinier for pennies. That's usually a D for Denver, a P for Philadelphia, or an S for San Francisco. But the 1988 Lincoln penny we're talking about has no mint mark at all, which means it was likely made in Philadelphia, because Philly didn't start consistently adding the P mint mark to pennies until 2017. Now here's the twist: most 1988 pennies with no mint mark are totally normal, worth a cent, maybe a couple bucks if they're extra shiny or living their best uncirculated life. But there's a very special version of this penny that's not just missing a mint mark, it also has what's called a reverse design from 1989. Yeah, it somehow time traveled a year ahead. Basically, the mint accidentally used the wrong reverse die, the little metal stamp that punches the design into the coin. So what you get is a 1988 front with a 1989 butt, and that, my friends, is the coin nerd equivalent of a unicorn. Only a few of these have been found in the wild, and every time one shows up, collectors lose their minds and open their wallets wide. And I know what you're thinking: okay, cool, rare coin, got it, but $1.1 million, seriously? Up, that's the current estimated value for a 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition with that 1989 reverse, and experts say the price keeps climbing. Why? It's the combo of rarity, historical error, and condition, kind of like if someone found a vintage Star Wars toy that also made coffee and paid your taxes. People would pay anything for it. Now let me tell you a quick story to keep this real and relatable. So a few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her garage. You know, the usual boxes of Christmas lights, expired canned food, and enough mystery Tupperware to start a small nation. Anyway, I found this dusty coffee can filled with coins, probably been there since the early 90s. I almost chucked it, but decided to let's look through it. While watching Netflix, boom, I found an old penny that looked kinda weird. It was a 1988 no mint mark, and the back looked a little off. I googled it and my jaw hit the floor like a drop scoop of ice cream. Turns out I had something special, not quite $1 million special, but definitely in the hundreds range. That moment taught me something: never underestimate your loose change. That a simple 1988 penny could change your life. That mint marks matter way more than we ever realized, and that maybe, just maybe, cleaning out your junk drawer could be more profitable than winning a scratch ticket if you're into hunting for hidden treasures, turning pocket change into paychecks, and learning all the juicy details about rare coins. You definitely want to stick around, so smash that subscribe button like you just found $1 million penny in your laundry stash. Give this video a like if you've ever accidentally thrown away something valuable, and drop a comment below if you've got any weird coins you're curious about. And hey, turn on those notifications, because I've got more videos coming your way that will have you rating couch cushions like a pirate on a caffeine high. Remember folks, keep your eyes on the coins, your hands in your pockets, and your dreams in the millions. Hey coin lovers, treasure hunters, and people who accidentally found a penny and googled it just in case they're rich now. Welcome back to the channel where small change can lead to big bucks. If you've ever thought a penny couldn't possibly be worth more than, well, a penny, think again. Today, we're diving deep into a tiny copper coin that's making big noise in the collector world, the 2002 D mint mark Lincoln penny. Yep. A coin you might have used to scratch a lottery ticket or dig out of your couch cushions is now worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's right, million. With an M.So grab your magnifying glass, maybe check that old jar of coins hiding under your bed, because we're about to go on a journey that might just change how you look at pocket change forever. Alright, let's roll back to 2002. Britney Spears was ruling the airwaves, flip phones were high-tech, and gas was, well, cheaper. That year, the Denver Mint pushed out billions, yes, billions, of Lincoln pennies. Most of them were your typical brownish red discs you'd never think twice about, but hidden among them, like a golden ticket in a sea of chocolate bars, was a rare variety of the 2002 D Lincoln penny that collectors are now shelling out over $1 million for. So what makes this penny worth more than your car, your college degree, or in my case, more than my entire apartment? That little D under the year 2002 means it was minted in Denver. So, you'd think that's common, right? And you'd be right, except this particular $1 million version comes with a twist. There are only a handful of 2002 D Lincoln pennies with an extremely rare die error. Some show a double die, where Lincoln's face looks like he's got a twin slightly off to the side. Some have misaligned strikes, off-centering, or extra metal that gives them that unique Frankenstein look. Collectors drool over die. In one case, there was a penny that had what experts call a broad strike error, where the coin was struck without the collar that usually gives it that perfect round shape. The result? A warped, stretched out penny that looks like it had a rough day but came out richer. And now, here's the kicker. In 2023, one of these funky little copper coins with a perfect error and flawless luster sold at auction for, drumroll, $1.2 million. And not because it was dipped in gold or kissed by Abraham Lincoln himself, but because it was rare, weird, and in minty fresh condition. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. And no, she didn't have a 2002 penny worth $1 million that would have made for a really dramatic plot twist. But what she did have was a coffee tin full of pennies from the early 2000s. I brushed it off, took a peek, and was like, just pennies. I didn't even bother to go through them. Fast forward to today, and I'm now low-key haunted by the fact that I might have left behind a fortune in a Folgers can. Lesson learned: never judge a penny by its coppery cover at first. Grab a magnifying glass. Look for oddities. Check for doubling in the letters, especially in Liberty, the date, and Lincoln's eye. Is it off-center? Does it look like it had a minty meltdown? That's what you want. Also, the condition matters big time. A coin in mint state, like it just left the vending machine yesterday, can be exponentially more valuable. If you're serious about diving into coin hunting, here are a few tips. I'm not even kidding. People toss rare coins into circulation without realizing what they have. That penny you got in change from Taco Bell might be your ticket to six figures. Roll hunt. Hit the bank, grab a few rolls of pennies, and just go through them. It's like scratching lottery tickets but without the guilt. Plus, you can return the ones you don't want and start over. There are some seriously helpful communities out there that'll help you ID rare coins. Plus, it's always nice to find other people who understand your obsession with tiny metal discs. Invest in a loop and scale. That way you can catch the tiniest details and make sure your coin's weight matches what it should. Some rare varieties are off weight, and that's part of what makes them so valuable. Don't get discouraged. For every rare $1 million penny, there are like 5,000 totally normal ones. But hey, that just makes the hunt more exciting, right? Get it graded. PCGS and NGC are the big names in the game. A professional grade can take your penny from maybe worth a few bucks to, oh snap, call the auction house. The wild, wonderful story of the 2002 Lincoln penny that's worth over $1 million. It's a tiny slice of history, a collector's dream, and proof that sometimes, the change jingling in your pocket could be the start of something big. And hey, whether you're a die-hard collector or just a curious soul who found a weird penny in a parking lot, don't sleep on your spare change. You never know what's lurking in that jar on your kitchen counter. If you enjoyed this video, had a laugh, learned something new, or now feel inspired to dig through your couch cushions, go ahead and smash that like button. And please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm dropping more videos just like this, uncovering coins worth crazy money, showing you what to look for, and making coin collecting a little less nerdy and a lot more fun. So keep those eyes sharp, keep those coins close, and remember, the next $1 million penny could be just one pocket away. Hey there coin hunters, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential treasure. Today we're diving into a story so wild you might want to check your couch cushions, your old coin jars, and maybe even grandma's junk drawer, because believe it or not, there's a 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's currently valued at $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right, one penny, $1.3 million. Let that sink in. Now if you're like me, you probably thought your 1993 pennies were only good for scratching lottery tickets or tossing in a fountain for good luck, but as it turns out, one lucky collector found out that some of these little brown coins are actually hiding serious value, and in this video we're going to unpack exactly why this particular penny is worth so much, how to tell if you have one, and how you can turn your spare change into a sweet stack of cash. So buckle up, grab your penny jar, and maybe keep an eye on that cat that always knocks your change off the table, because you won't want to miss this one. Alright, let's jump into the meat and potatoes of this story. So what makes the 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny such a big deal? First things first, let's talk about the mint mark, or in this case the lack of one. See, most pennies from 1993 were minted in Philadelphia, which traditionally doesn't stamp a mint mark on their coins, so technically most 1993 pennies you'll find without a mint mark are totally normal and worth exactly 1 cent maybe 2 if you're feeling lucky at a yard sale. But there's a twist, and this is where it gets juicy. Some of these no-mint mark 1993 pennies were struck with incredible die errors or were minted on the wrong planchet, which means they were made using the wrong kind of metal or blank coin. In some cases, collectors have found these 1993 pennies struck on dime planchets or with double dies, and trust me, that kind of mistake isn't just interesting, it's straight up valuable. Now, before you go cashing in your Entire piggy bank. I gotta tell you, finding one of these rare babies is like winning the lottery while riding a unicorn, but hey, someone's gotta win, right? Number 1, check the weight. A regular penny from 1993 should weigh about 25 grams. If yours weighs a bit less, say around 22 or even closer to 22, it could have been struck on a dime planchet, and that's a big deal. Number 2, inspect it under magnification. Grab yourself a cheap jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass from the dollar store and look at Lincoln's features. If the lettering is off, if there's doubling in the date or Liberty, or if Honest Abe's face looks like he got hit by a glitch in the Matrix, you might just have a valuable error coin. Number 3, condition is everything. A penny that looks like it's been through a war with a blender isn't going to fetch $1 million even if it has a cool error. The $1 million coins are the ones that are in pristine uncirculated condition. We're talking shiny, untouched, basically something that looks like it got minted yesterday and then just took a nap for 30 years. Now I know what you're thinking, this sounds cool and all, but does this stuff actually happen? Well, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago I was at a flea market, not really looking for coins, more like looking for a decent taco truck, and I stumbled across this older gentleman selling random coins in baggies, you know, the kind where it's all just jumbled together, like trail mix for nerds. I asked if I could take a peek and he let me dig through the pile. I found this 1993 penny, looked kinda shiny, didn't think much of it, but I paid $1 just because it looked cool. Fast forward to a few months later, I decided to get it graded on a whim. Turns out it was an off-metal strike hit on a dime planchet, and yeah, it didn't go for $1 million, but it did fetch over $4 grand. Not bad for a coin that was basically sitting in a Ziploc bag between a Canadian nickel and a bent quarter. So yeah, this stuff is real, and it happens to regular folks who just keep their eyes open. Now back to our star, the big one, the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $13 million. This coin was found in near perfect condition and displayed an extremely rare double die strike, plus it was struck on a transitional planchet. Basically all the weirdness coin collectors dream about bundled into one tiny copper disc, and when it went up for auction, wealthy collectors went absolutely bananas over it, and that's how one little cent ended up with a 7-figure price tag. First, don't clean it. Never ever clean a coin, even if it's covered in Cheeto dust or has been used as a makeshift screwdriver. Coin collectors actually like grime, they just don't like scratches. Second, take it to a coin shop, or better yet, submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify its authenticity and give you a grade which can seriously bump up its value. Third, consider selling it at auction, especially if it turns out to be a legit error. Coin auctions are where the big money is, and coin nerds with deep pockets love a good bidding war. And lastly, just have fun with it. Coin collecting is like treasure hunting for grown-ups. You never know when your next big find is just rattling around in your pocket or stuck between your car seats next to a French fry from 2006. Alright, so let's bring it home, folks. Today we learned that yes, a 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny is currently worth over $1.3 million, and yes, that's totally nuts, but also totally true as long as it's the right kind of rare error coin in mint condition. So here's your mission: check your pennies, especially those from 1993. Get yourself a magnifying glass, maybe even download a coin app to help you along the way, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next lucky collector to turn a single cent into serious cash. If you enjoyed this video and you want more tips on coins worth money, strategies to spot valuable errors, and some weird coin stories that'll make you laugh or cry, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment if you've ever found a weird coin or think you might be sitting on a treasure. This is your coin-loving, coin-flipping, coin-joking host signing off and reminding you to always check your change, because you just might be holding the next $1 million penny. Hey folks, ever find yourself digging through your couch cushions hoping to find some spare change for a coffee, only to come up with a dusty penny and a few cracker crumbs? Well, what if I told you that old penny might be worth more than your car? Yep. Today we're talking about a 2006 mint mark Lincoln penny, not some ancient coin from the 1800s, not one you need Indiana Jones to find. I'm talking about a regular old penny you might have used to buy gum as a kid, and get this, one rare version of it is worth $1.4 million. That's not a typo. $1.4 million. So buckle up, because we're diving into how one of the most ordinary looking coins in your pocket could actually be the MVP of your wallet. Alright, let's set the scene. It's 2006. Gas was around $2.60 a gallon, Facebook was still cool, and Nickelback was playing in the background of every mall in America. Somewhere in Denver, a small batch of pennies was minted, and one of them, my friends, was different. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. It's coppery, it's tiny, it gets ignored more than the terms and conditions page. But this specific 2006 penny? It has something special going on. Let's break it down. Most 2006 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 2 if someone's being generous. But a rare error coin, specifically one with a double die, off-center strike, or even an ultra-high grade with zero visible flaws, can send its value skyrocketing faster than your blood pressure when you check your credit card bill. This particular 2006 penny that sold for $1.4 million? It was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and demand. Graded a perfect MS70 by a top-tier grading service, this penny had no scratches, no dullness, just pure minty perfection. Think of it like finding a perfectly round donut with double frosting and no hole. It just doesn't happen. Now let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my aunt clean out her garage. You know, the kind of garage where you find weird stuff like broken VCRs, a lava lamp that hasn't worked since the Clinton administration, and a drawer, yes, a whole drawer full of old coins. I wasn't into coin collecting at the time, but one shiny penny caught my eye. It had a D on it and looked brand new. I shrugged and tossed it in my pocket because, hey, it was shinier than the others. I later found out it was a 2006 penny. Now, don't get excited, mine wasn't the $1 million version. Turns out it had a teeny scratch, which basically brought its value back down to 1 cent. But it taught me two things. Here's where it gets juicy. If you've got a 2006 penny, here's what you need to look for: off-center images, doubled letters, strange coloring. Get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Those three letters can make or break your payday. You can even use a jeweler's loupe or a phone with a macro lens to inspect your coin. I do it while watching TV. It's like coin nerd multitasking. And yes, my partner thinks I've officially lost it. As of right now, this ultra-rare version of the 2006 penny has fetched $1.4 million at auction. That's enough for a house in some states, or at least a really, really good taco truck in California. The demand for rare modern coins is growing. Why? Because people are realizing that coins made in the last 20 or 30 years can have insane value if they're rare enough. It's like modern-day treasure hunting without needing a pirate ship. A tiny, ordinary-looking 2006 Lincoln penny could be the golden ticket to your $1 million dream. All it takes is a sharp eye, a little patience, and a love for shiny things. That if you've got a jar full of coins at home, and let's be honest, you probably do, give those pennies a second look. You never know which one might be your surprise retirement plan. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, or just want more coin collecting tips that could potentially make you rich, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any coin worth a fortune. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go check your change, and may your next penny be a $1 million one. Hey there coin lovers and curious collectors, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into paydays. Now before you go tossing that old penny aside thinking it's just a copper-colored nobody, hold on tight because today's story might just blow your coin-loving mind. We're diving deep into the 1995 Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that might look like it belongs in a gumball machine but could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $15 million. Yep, you heard that right, $1.5 million for a penny. So grab your loose change, check between those couch cushions, and maybe call grandma to see if she's still got that old coin jar, because you never know what treasure's hiding in plain sight. Let's kick things off by talking about what makes the 1995 Lincoln penny so special. First off, the D stands for Denver. That's where this coin was minted, and let me tell you, the Denver Mint has seen some wild stuff over the years, but the 1995 Lincoln penny, well, that one is a superstar. So what's the deal with this specific coin? Why on earth would someone pay a house-sized fortune for a 1-cent piece? The answer, my friends, is a combo of rarity, condition, and some good old-fashioned minting magic. See, the majority of 1995 pennies were pretty standard. Millions were made and most of them are worth, you guessed it, 1 cent. But every once in a while a freak of nature rolls off the presses, a penny with a flaw, a penny with a pristine finish, or in this case a penny with just the right combination of factors that collectors go nuts for. One of the main reasons this particular 1995 penny fetched $15 million is its flawless condition. We're talking mint state, like it was just born yesterday. No scratches nowhere, no fingerprint smudges, just a perfect little Lincoln staring into the distance like he knows he's sitting on $1 million smile. Now I know what you're thinking, okay cool, but how do I know if my 1995 penny is the one? Well, here's where it gets juicy. You'll want to grab a magnifying glass, maybe a good desk lamp, and your best detective voice. Look for a clean, sharp strike, which means all the details are crisp. You want to see the lines in Lincoln's coat, his ear, his beard. Everything should be sharp, like it's been chiseled out of solid copper. Also double check the lettering, especially the word Liberty and the date. If anything looks slightly off, it could be a variety or an error coin, which can also boost the value big time. So a few years back I was cleaning out The junk drawer, you know, the one where batteries go to die, rubber bands multiply, and mystery keys hide. I found this little Ziploc bag filled with old coins, nothing special at first glance, but one penny caught my eye. It was shiny, like suspiciously shiny for something from the 90s. I checked the date, 1995. My heart skips. I grabbed my magnifier and boom, I swear it looked pristine. I started imagining the things I could buy: a jet, a taco truck, an island shaped like Lincoln's beard. Of course I sent it off to be graded because, let's face it, my eyes aren't exactly mint state anymore, and while it didn't turn out to be the $1 million baby, it still came back worth a few $100. Not bad for something sitting next to dead batteries and half a deck of Uno cards. Now back to our star, the 1995 penny that hit the 15 million mark. That coin was sold at a high-profile auction to a very enthusiastic collector who apparently just had to have it. That's the beauty of coin collecting, it's like treasure hunting, except you don't need a pirate ship or a map, just a sharp eye and a bit of luck. Oh, and before I forget, some of the things that can increase the value of your 1995 penny besides condition include being a double die variety. Yes, some of those exist and collectors lose their minds over them. Also, if it has a rare planchet error or some off-center strike, that can send the price soaring too. So how do you cash in? If you think you've got something good, first take clear pictures front and back. Make sure the lighting is good, no blurry phone pics from your bathroom. Send those pics to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, or take it to a local coin dealer. They can give you a sense of whether you're dealing with a common cent or a millionaire in disguise. And hey, if you find the $1 million penny, please remember who told you about it. I accept tips in tacos or Teslas, just throwing that out there. Alright folks, if you made it this far, give yourself a high five. You're officially smarter about pennies than 99% of people out there. The 1995 Lincoln penny might look ordinary, but it could be hiding a golden secret. So next time someone laughs when you say you're into coins, just remind them that a single penny could be worth more than their car, their house, and their hopes combined. If you enjoyed this little dive into coin collecting goldmine and want more tips, tricks, and crazy true stories about coins worth serious money, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell too, so you don't miss the next video where I uncover more everyday coins that are secretly treasure. And hey, leave a comment below if you've ever found a weird or valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories or answer your questions. Plus, it helps the channel grow and gives me an excuse to keep rummaging through my junk drawer. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Let me ask you something. Have you ever handed someone a penny and thought, this thing is basically useless? Well, what if I told you that one single penny from 2020, yeah, just 5 years ago, could be sitting in your pocket, your junk drawer, or under your car seat right now, and it's worth $1.6 million? That's not a typo. A little copper-colored coin. 1 cent worth $1.5 million plus lunch money. So before you go dumping your change jar at the Coinstar machine for $23 in Amazon credit, hang out with me. Because today, we're diving deep into the mysterious, magical, money-making world of the 2020 mint mark Lincoln penny. I'll break down why it's so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can find one. Plus, I'll share a personal story that'll make you triple-check every penny from now on. So grab a snack. This might just be the most profitable YouTube video you've ever watched. It's part of the Good OL Lincoln Cent series. That same familiar face of Honest Abe we've all seen since kindergarten. This particular one, minted in Denver in 2020, is made of copper-plated zinc, weighs about 2.5 grams, and looks like a regular coin you wouldn't think twice about. Now, before I go full Indiana Jones on you, let's break it down. What makes certain 2020 pennies worth a life-changing amount of money? And by batch, I mean a teeny tiny handful of 2020 pennies that came out with serious minting mistakes. We're talking off-center strikes, doubled dies, floating roofs on the memorial building, and in one extremely rare case, a coin that was accidentally struck on a foreign planchet. That's just a fancy way of saying they used the wrong metal. Oops, these kinds of errors are like typos in a first edition book, rare, weird, and incredibly collectible. Coin collectors go bananas for them. Like throw money at the screen bananas. You can't just find a rusty penny that someone used to scratch lottery tickets and expect to cash out for $1 million. The big bucks are paid for coins in what we call MS-70 or close to it. That means mint state 70, flawless, no wear, clean edges, crisp details. Like it just came off the press yesterday and fell into a velvet pillow. If you find one in your change that's even close to that condition with a confirmed mint error, bingo. You've got yourself a winner. Recently, a 2020 Lincoln penny with a rare minting error, in pristine condition, certified by a professional grading service, sold at auction for $1.6 million. Why would someone pay that much for a penny? Because coin collectors, especially the ones with fat wallets, are all about completing sets, owning unique pieces, and honestly, just flexing their collections like some people flex rare sneakers or vintage cars. Let me tell you a quick story. About 2 years ago, I was helping my aunt clean out her garage. Now, my aunt is a sweet woman but the biggest pack rat you've ever seen. I'm talking jars of buttons, 1980s microwave manuals, and yes, about 6 giant pickle jars full of pennies, but then, curiosity got me. I started sorting through them. After about an hour and 47 mosquito bites later, I came across a 2020D penny that looked off. Like, the image of Lincoln was a little funny and the date looked like it had a double outline. Long story short, I sent it in to get graded. Turns out, it wasn't the $1 million one, but it was worth over $1,000 due to a rare die crack. One random penny in a pickle jar. Imagine if I didn't look. Imagine if my aunt had just dumped them off at the grocery store. That day changed everything for me. Now I check my change like a hawk. I even inspect vending machine returns. I'm that guy. And let me tell you, it's worth it. Flip over your penny. Look for the D mint mark just below the year on the front. If it's got a D, congrats, it was minted in Denver. Check for errors. Look at Lincoln's face. Is it blurry? Are the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust doubled? Is the building on the back looking funky? Get it graded. Use a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. It might cost a few bucks, but it's totally worth it if you think you've struck gold or copper. In this case, they leave them in tip jars. They toss them in fountains. They give them to their kid to put in their mouth when they're not looking. But you now know better. Every single coin has a story. And some of them have 6 zeros behind them. The 2020D Lincoln penny might just be the most surprising thing you'll find in your spare change this year. With the right error and condition, it can be worth $1.6 million. That's not just luck, that's knowledge, hustle, and a little bit of coin nerd magic. Remember my aunt and her pickle jar? That could be your story. Your glove box, your sock drawer, that bowl of change on your kitchen counter could be hiding a fortune, because if not, I will. And I'll happily take that $1 million coin off your hands. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, if you laughed, if you learned something, if you're suddenly squinting at your change under a lamp, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping weekly videos showing you which coins to look out for, how to spot valuable errors, and how to turn everyday pocket change into serious money. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird coin or if you're about to raid grandma's coin jar. I read every single one. Hey there coin lovers, treasure hunters, and curious cats who just stumbled down the YouTube rabbit hole. Welcome back to the channel that helps you turn pocket change into paycheck power. And if you're new here, congratulations, because today you just might learn that a little brown penny sitting in your junk drawer could be worth more than your car. Or your ex's car. Or your ex.so. Let me hit you with a question. What if I told you that a 1965 penny with no mint mark, yep, just a regular old Abe Lincoln coin, could be worth $1.7 million? Now before you run off and start flipping your couch cushions or shaking down your grandma's piggy bank, stick around because in this video we're diving deep into the story, mystery, and current market madness surrounding the 1965 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. We're talking value, rarity, what to look for, and, because I love you all, how not to get scammed by that guy on eBay selling rare 1965 coins for 10 grand with free shipping and a sketchy smile. Alright, so let's start with a little history lesson, but don't worry, this ain't your high school classroom with the squeaky chalk and overhead projector. This is the cool version. In 1965, the US Mint made a decision that would send waves through the world of coin collecting. Due to a coin shortage, the Mint decided to remove mint marks from coins temporarily, meaning all coins from 1965, whether made in Philly, Denver, or San Francisco, had no identifying mint mark. So if your 1965 penny doesn't have one, don't panic. That's actually normal. But, and this is a big but, like Cardi B lyrics big, some 1965 pennies turned out to be different. Unique. Weird. Special. And a few of those ended up being worth a whole lot more than 1 cent. Let me tell ya, it ain't the looks. These coins aren't sparkly, flashy, or dipped in chocolate. What makes them valuable is a mix of minting errors, rarity, and historical quirks. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, weird compositions, and in some cases, coins that were accidentally struck using the wrong metal. Some 1965 pennies were mistakenly struck on silver planchets, left over from the old dime production. Those coins are heavier than regular pennies and have that distinctive silver color that would make anyone go, wait a second. Another theory floating around is that some transitional errors slipped past the Mint's radar, like maybe a 1964 die was used in early 1965 production, These kinds of errors are rare, and rarity equals value. Have shown up at auction with serious verification. And when they do, oh boy, the bidding gets hotter than a jalapeno in a sauna. That's where we get that crazy $1.7 million valuation. It happened in a private sale, and let me tell you, some collectors are just waiting for the next one to surface. Let me break it down for you, because I want you to be the next person who finds one in a sock drawer. A regular penny from 1965 should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, like heavier or lighter, have it checked out. A penny with a silver tone might be a clue. Don't clean it though, cleaning coins can kill their value faster than you can say oops. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling in the letters or numbers. That's called a double die and can make your penny worth thousands on its own, and of course, if you see any other weird errors, like the coin being off-center, distorted, or extra thick, don't ignore it. That could be your gold mine now. Speaking of gold mines, let me tell y'all a quick personal story. You're gonna love this one. So I'm at my grandma's house, right? Digging through a jar of pennies she's had since the Stone Age. She's watching her soap operas, and I'm over there like a detective at a crime scene, looking for rare dates and weird colors. I find this crusty 1965 penny, nothing fancy. I almost toss it back in the jar, but something felt different. It was heavier. No joke. I grab a kitchen scale, cause let's be real, that's all I had, and it was just over 3.11 grams. My brain goes full Sherlock Holmes. I take it to a local coin dealer. The guy squints at it, goes pale, and says, "Where did you get this?" Long story short, it wasn't the $1 million one, but it was an error coin, and I sold it for over $2,000. From a penny. A penny. Grandma was so proud she made me cookies. The lesson? Don't ignore the ordinary looking coins. Sometimes, they're holding secrets. Alright, now let's quickly talk about how you can check your coins safely and smartly. You get yourself a decent coin scale, magnifier, and a basic coin book or price guide. I'll link some of my favorites in the description below. Also, don't get tricked by online scams. Just because someone slaps rare 1965 error on a listing doesn't mean it's legit. Trust the pros. Get your coin certified by PCGS or NGC if you think it's something special. Yes, it costs a little money, but it could be the best investment you ever make. Alright friends, we've gone deep today. From coin history to minting mysteries, and a personal story about turning a penny into profit. The bottom line, that 1965 no mint Mark Lincoln penny in your change jar just might be your ticket to millionaire status. But even if it's not, this hobby can be wildly fun, surprisingly profitable, and just straight up cool. Plus, it gives you an excuse to snoop through your grandma's coin jar without looking like a weirdo. Now if you learned something new, had a laugh, or just enjoyed hanging out with me for the last little while, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss future videos, and drop a comment below telling me the weirdest coin you've ever found. I read every single one. And hey, we've got more videos coming up on valuable nickels, dimes, quarters, even those sneaky state quarters that might be worth thousands. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. Keep checking your change, and I'll catch you in the next one.